All right, guys. So we're gonna finish up our tutorial for the flagged tumbler. So I'm trying to fix my camera here. It's being a butt again. All right, so gosh, I think I need a new tripod. I think I've worn this one out. All right, there we go. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we need to cut our stars. And I was gonna cut these before, but then I kind of thought, you know what, I better do it on screen so that you can kind of see how I do it. So I'm gonna lower my tripod so that you can see a little bit better. All right, now I think you can see. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get your measuring tape, and you just want to measure from the side of the blue to the other side of the blue. So I have 4 1/4 wide. So then you're going to take your stars and you'll edit those and do 4.25 wide. And then I always just measure the height and make sure that it's going to be high enough. And I think it will, because mine is 3 1/4 high. This is 2.8, so I think it'll be fine. You're not ever going to have it perfect, so without cutting stars. So all right. So I'm going to go ahead and get this put on my mat so that I can run it through my Cricut real quick. So give me just a hot second to get these cut out. Won't take very long, but we'll go ahead and talk about what else you'll need. So there's a few things that you're going to need for this project. One of those is going to be an art brush, and I have them here so that you could see them. You can get these at Walmart for 30 brushes for $1. I did get these at the Dollar Tree, but they're 12 for $1, so it's a better route to just go to Walmart and get them there. And you're gonna need some brown paint, and a little cup or something to put it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and move my tablet out of your way. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this to me and move y'all closer so you can see. All right. Okay, so I've got brown paint, and it's just the melted chocolate acrylic. I have a little cup. It's used, but I don't care. It just had a little bit of paint in it. I'm about out of this brown. I may have to go get my other brown. You just want a little bit of acrylic paint. That might be enough that's in there. You don't need very much at all. And then you're gonna want something to dab your brush on. So I always use a piece of paper towel. Get that paint up that I spilt everywhere. And I'll just leave that sitting there. All right, so now we're just waiting on the cutter so that we can get those stars put on our cup. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a piece of transfer paper so that I'm ready for that. I use contact paper from Walmart for that. So here I've cut just a small piece of that. And I think that's just about done. Maybe I should have had one cut already. Still trying to figure out these lives. So, let's see over here. Yeah. So if you have any comments or questions, just go ahead and ask those, and I will try to answer those as you comment. So as we did in the first video, if you haven't seen that, was how to paint it. The second video was how to put these stripes on. And it looks really good right now. And I can't wait to get this finished up. So those stars are just about done. We're going to place them on the cup, and then we're going to start distressing. I'm going to show you how that's done. This video will be saved, so you'll be able to come back and watch it if you've missed the beginning. Well, I think it's got one more star left. Yep. Awesome. It is done. So now we can get that done and we can get moving. This part is the easiest and fastest part of this whole process. Shockingly. Really and truthfully, the stripes take the longest. So I'm just cutting the excess vinyl off of this that I can save. Alright, so I'm just going to weed this real quick. These are just our white stars. Okay, and let's get them on our cup. Right, I like to just rub over them to make sure that they all stick to my transfer sheet. Okay. Oh, don't fall over. All right. So then what I like to do is lay like a towel or something soft down that'll kind of hold my cup in place. So I use this towel a lot to wipe my hands and stuff on. And then it's also going to help it keep it stable so that you can do what you need to do. And I just kind of fold up some of the sides there so that it keeps it level. And then also you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just going to peel off the backing here, making sure to leave all of my stars. I don't think I rubbed on that quite enough, but it's okay. I'm gonna get it. All right, so now here we have our stars, and what I'm gonna try to do is just center them in. Just gonna try to center them. You can start at one side if you want, and I think that's what I'll do for this one because it fits so well. Just make sure that you center it up and down, and then you can take and just push everything over to stick the rest of them. Should have went over just a tiny bit more, but it's okay. Like I've said before, this cup doesn't have to be perfect because the whole point of it is to be distressed. So Not a big a deal. So I'll just show you here. It just kind of overlapped just a tiny bit. And over here, there's a little bit of room. So if I'd have just moved it over a little bit more, it would have turned out perfect. But I was trying to center it. And then I've centered it in the top and in the bottom so that everything fit perfect. So now we have our stars. So now it's time to get started on the other part. Now for the other part, I'm just going to hold it by my little handle here. Okay, make sure you can see everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my art brush and dip it in my paint. So I have my paint on there, and I'm going to dab it off on my paper. I don't want much left on that brush, so I'm going to have to take that off of there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on my cup and I'm going to swirl. And you can see here, I hope, that my brush is laid out like that, and I'm just going to swirl. And I kind of work kind of fast on it because I don't want too much to settle in one spot. So if you get too much in one spot, like right here, you can just kind of wipe at it and then go back. And I try to just kind of dip back in my paper towel until it won't give me any more. And I just go through and I keep rubbing the whole cup with that brush. And the whole entire time that I'm rubbing with my brush, it's pushed down like that. The whole time I'm rubbing, it's pressed down like that, if you can see that. And that's what kind of splays it all out so that I don't get too much going on in one spot, and it kind of gives that rustic feel to it. Some spots will be heavier than others, and some spots will be a little lighter than others. And that's okay because that adds to the effect that you want. Again, you can wipe off what you don't like. So I just kind of work in smaller sections at a time. I usually just go from the bottom and go up. We're just going to continue moving up our project here. It's going to mute everything, all these colors, and make it look a little older and distressed. All right, let's go up to that stripe. I tend to go in circles, but you can go up and down or however you like. Whatever is going to look best for you, whatever your preferences are, is whatever you're going to do. And this is totally based on preferences and what you like, what you don't like. You can put as much distressing on as you want and as little as you want. It's personal preference all the way. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up this red piece before I start on my stars because I like to give that section a little bit more attention. There we go. Just wanted to wipe a little bit of that off. All right, so now our star section, I want to make sure that I leave quite a bit of my stars white. You want them distressed, but not overly distressed. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to start going. And then I'll just take and kind of wipe. So I'll put quite a bit on, and then I'll just kind of wipe it off a little bit, and you can kind of just rub on the actual star itself. You want them to be distressed. I just don't like them too much distressed, if that makes sense. All right, so let's see. One little section right here that doesn't seem to have much of anything on it. All right, so there's our star section, all distressed. Hopefully you can see that. And now I'll just show you the entire cup. Now this one's heavily distressed, and you don't have to distress it this heavily if you don't want to. Now on the bottom, most of the time I will cut a circle out of this paper here and put it on the bottom just for an extra little something something. I didn't do that on this one just because I wanted to show you how to do it without it, because most people, if they're making cups, they want to put their logo on the bottom. I don't do that personally, but I know a lot of people do, and they feel very strongly about it. So however you want to do it is fine. So if you don't want to do anything, you don't have to. If you do, then that's fine too. So I just swirled it in a circle, and then I kind of just wiped it off a little bit. And just kind of take a gander at it so that, all right, let's see if you can see. All right, so that's it. Now you just put 2 to 3 coats of epoxy on it. This is probably going to take a little bit more because I used cardstock like an idiot instead of regular paper. But I think on my regular papered ones, I think 2 coats was good. But make sure that you spray this with your clear sealer before you start epoxying. That's going to save you a lot. I had a little star move. Okay. Because with the acrylic paint, the epoxy likes to separate for me anyways. So I always just give this a spray of clear sealer and then go from there. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you'll like this video and subscribe so you can see future videos. Comment if you have any questions. I'm here to help, and I don't mind answering any of your questions. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thanks. See you next time.